Hi, my name is Dr. Azro, and I'm an ABVP Avian resident in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to walk you through the Liberty Wildlife Rehabilitation and Education Center, where I go as part of my training. We'll first walk through the education side for visitors. When you come in, you can turn and see the Non-Eagle Feather Repository, whose mission is to provide Native Americans belonging to federally recognized tribes with a legal source of non-eagle feathers for religious and ceremonial purposes. If you keep going, you'll then see a window into the hospital where I usually do work. And then going the other way, you can see an event space, and we'll peer into a room that houses native wildlife like snakes, reptiles, and some small mammals like squirrels and things like that. The next area is our brand new larger mammal area that currently has a coatimundi, a raccoon, and a bobcat. This area is used for educational talks and demonstrations. Finally, we'll do a walkthrough of the area where our animal ambassadors live. The first thing is a large aviary for our small birds, and then the individual housing units for all of our animal ambassadors, and on each placard they have a QR code so you can read about that individual, their species, and why they're living at Liberty. Now it's time to walk through the wildlife rehabilitation side. This first window is where people can bring injured wildlife. Ideally, they would have called through our hotline before dropping them off. This first room is our triage area where volunteers will initially assess animals that were dropped off, determine if they need any immediate medical care. We do have protocols for treatments that they can do if a doctor is not immediately available. They'll determine if a doctor needs to look at a patient and determine their pathway. It's also the area where doctors will assess animals and do treatments that are not surgical. This is our pharmacy and laboratory. We have instruments for some in-house blood work and lead testing, as well as a microscope to look for parasites and look at cytology. This is our x-ray room with digital radiology. If an animal needs surgery, this is our surgical prep area. And then we have our surgical suite that has all of the monitoring equipment that we need, a TV that's connected with x-rays so we can look at them during surgery. We house our ultrasound in here and our laser, as well as anything else we might need for surgery. This is the ICU where animals are housed that need daily medications and ongoing care. We have a separate small mammal room for things like bunnies and squirrels. We have two separate isolation areas. The first one is for general infectious diseases, for things like canker, and the second one is our HPAI isolation room. This is our orphan care building for baby birds that are otherwise healthy but need to be hand-reared. These are our outdoor rehabilitation enclosures that include things like wild birds that couldn't be released that are used as fosters for orphaned raptors, and intermediate cages for birds that don't need daily care anymore but aren't quite ready to be released. Finally, this is one of our new flight test cages that allows us to see if birds are able to fly and see appropriately and if they're ready to be released. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Liberty Wildlife. If you'd like to learn more, please visit their website.